As the sun set on the third day of their journey, Sarah and her husband, Michael, found themselves driving down a deserted highway. They had been on the road for hours, making their way to their new home in a small town on the other side of the country.
I can't believe we're doing this. Driving across the country with you, it's like a modern-day romance novel.
And I'm the dashing hero, right?
Well, you're certainly dashing to the gas station every time we need to fill up.
Hey now, I'm just trying to keep our love tank full.
Aww. How sweet. But if you keep making jokes like that, we might need to stop for a different kind of fuel, coffee.
I think I know the perfect place for that. It's called Cup of Love. Seems fitting, don't you think?
Ha! You know me too well. But don't get any ideas, mister. I don't want you getting too romantic and falling asleep at the wheel.
Don't worry, darling. As long as I'm driving with you, I'll always be awake and alert.
Good answer. And speaking of answers, when are you going to give me one to the age-old question, are we there yet?
We'll get there when we get there, my love. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride with me.
Oh, I plan to. With you by my side, this journey is already a dream come true.
Suddenly, a loud noise echoed through the car, and the vehicle began to shake violently. Michael struggled to keep the car on the road as it careened out of control. The car finally came to a stop, smoke pouring from the hood.
Oh my God, Michael, what's happening? Why is there smoke pouring out of the hood?
I don't know, Sarah. Just stay calm, okay? We'll figure this out.
But what if we're stuck here? We're in the middle of nowhere and we have no cell phone reception. What are we going to do?
Hey, don't worry. We'll figure something out. Maybe there's a gas station or a mechanic nearby. Let's take a look around and see what we can find.
Okay, let's do that. And if worse comes to worst, we can always just camp out here, right? It'll be like a little adventure.
You always know how to look on the bright side, Sarah. I love that about you.
And I love you for always being the level-headed one in situations like this. Let's go see what we can find and hopefully get back on the road soon.
Sarah and Michael quickly realized that the car was beyond repair, and they were stranded in the middle of nowhere with no cell phone reception. As they tried to come up with a plan, they heard a strange sound coming from the nearby woods. They cautiously approached the source of the noise and discovered a small cabin nestled in a clearing. A gruff old man answered the door, and despite his initial reluctance, he eventually agreed to help the stranded couple.
What brings you young folks out here in the middle of nowhere?
Our car broke down and we're stranded. We were hoping you might be able to help us.
I might be able to help you with that. Let me take a look.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Don't thank me yet. This could take a while. You two might as well come on in and make yourselves comfortable.
Thank you, sir. That's very kind of you.
Yes, thank you. It's not often you meet such hospitable people these days.
Well, I may live out here in the woods, but I'm not completely cut off from the world. Now, how about I make us some tea while I take a look at that engine?
That sounds great. Thank you again for your help.
Yes, thank you. We really lucked out finding you out here.
Luck has nothing to do with it, my dears. Everything happens for a reason. And who knows, maybe this is exactly where you were meant to be.
As the days passed, they learned that the old man had once been a successful engineer, but he had given it all up to live a simple life in the woods. The old man shared stories of his early days in the woods, when he had to learn to fend for himself and live off the land. He showed them how to find edible plants and berries, and how to set traps for small game. As they worked on fixing the car, the old man would regale them with stories of his travels and the adventures he had experienced in his youth. He had seen and done so much, but he had never regretted his decision to leave it all behind and start anew in the woods. As they worked together to repair the car, Sarah and Michael began to appreciate the slower pace of life in the woods. They found themselves enjoying the peaceful surroundings and the company of their new friend.
You know, Sarah, there's something special about being out here in the woods. It's like the world just slows down and you can really appreciate the beauty around you.
I know what you mean. It's so peaceful out here. I feel like I could just sit and watch the trees for hours.
Yes, there's a certain magic to it. And you know, it's not just about the scenery. It's about learning to live in harmony with nature. When you're out here, you realize that everything is connected, the plants, the animals, the earth itself.
That's so true. It's easy to forget that when you're living in the city, but out here it's impossible to ignore.
Exactly. And that's why I love it out here. I feel like I'm a part of something bigger than myself.
I can see why. It's like you're living in a different world out here.
Yes, but in some ways it's the only world that really matters. You know, Sarah, I've seen a lot of people come and go over the years, and I've learned that the secret to happiness isn't in what you own or what you do. It's in finding contentment with what you have and where you are.
That's a beautiful sentiment. I think a lot of people could benefit from that kind of wisdom.
Well, it's taken me a lifetime to figure it out. But if I can pass on some of what I've learned to you young folks, then I'll consider it time well spent.
Finally, after a week of hard work, the car was fixed, and Sarah and Michael were ready to continue their journey. As they said their goodbyes to the old man, they realized that the disaster that had brought them to the woods had also given them a valuable lesson about the importance of slowing down and appreciating the simple things in life.